It was 1948, and brothers Mac and Dick McDonald had actually closed their barbecue burger joint, only to reopen as the very first McDonald's restaurant at 14th and E Street in San Bernardino. With speedy service and 15-cent hamburgers, little did they know they would be starting a fast food revolution. While Ray Kroc is often credited with much of McDonald's success, it was the McDonald's Brothers who initially had the customers lined up to gobble down their tasty burgers and fries. Today, the original building is long gone, but the 1953 sign that launched an icon of American business remains at 14th and E, and with it, an unlikely story of a local businessman who's preserving McDonald's historic ties to San Bernardino. It was back in 1998 that the site was facing foreclosure when Albert Okura, the founder of the Juan Pollo rotisserie chicken restaurant chain, came to the rescue and purchased the building.
I read the paper one day, it said the history for sale. The historic site of the original McDonald's for sale. Nobody wants it. It was in foreclosure. And at that time, they had 20 different escrows. And they kept dropping out. So I came, I read that paper, I just jumped, I bought that the next day. And when I got out of escrow, what I did was I turned this into an actual McDonald's museum, an unofficial McDonald's museum. We have the only collection of pre-Ray Kroc McDonald's memorabilia that anyone has.
And plenty of other McDonald's items that are sure to spark memories for both young and old alike. Okura does hope to further restore the historic McDonald's sign, complete with a new set of golden arches. The old ones were removed in a legal dispute between the McDonald's and Ray Kroc. In the meantime, the museum is located at 14th and E along Route 66 in San Bernardino. It is open daily from 10 to 5. Admission is free. As for Okura, he's hoping to replicate some of McDonald's success for himself.
I mean, everyone that comes to visit the museum, everyone talks to me, they always are going to find out about Juan Pollo restaurants. Because my goal is to end up in the chicken what Ray Kroc did in the hamburgers.
In the city of San Bernardino, this location is where the original McDonald's was opened by the McDonalds Brothers in 1940. It began as a barbecue restaurant, but quickly the hamburgers became the top seller and it transitioned into the hamburger stand that put McDonald's on the map. While this is not the original building, it sits where it once stood and has pieces of the original floor on display outside. Inside, you'll be greeted by a great little museum that collects toys and memorabilia from all over the world. The museum claims to be one of the most extensive collections of pre-Ray Kroc memorabilia, with lots of historic pieces on display such as the original coffee mug and paper straw container from when it was a barbecue restaurant. If you're not familiar with McDonald's history, I highly recommend checking out The Founder. It's a fascinating movie that came out a few years ago and talks all about the history of the restaurant. The toys are probably the main part of the museum though, with toys donated from families worldwide to be displayed in the museum and to show what comes in Happy Meals in other countries. It was funny to see the old Beanie Babies on display because I remember how excited people were about these and how they were going to make a ton of money in the future. Let me know if you were able to sell your collection in the comments. There are also a few fun statues of Ronald McDonald and Grimace that you can see inside as well. Note that every time I've been here, there's been a docent with tons of McDonald's knowledge who is always happy to answer any questions I had after a Route 66 emblem painted in the ground and even an old car in the back. This is in addition to all of the McDonald's related things you can see outside the museum as well.